Hi, I'm Peter Fuller. I'm going to talk to you about the most fun part of the Catapult system. Now, I think the whole thing's a lot of fun. And I'm moving a little bit on the camera here, and I know they're telling me to slow down. But you know what? It's hard for me to slow down when I'm talking about this next category. It's called the outcome statement. And you're about ready to write an outcome statement for your life and your business. What is the outcome statement? So world-class companies, actually they operate on a 3-year outcome statement. You know, you may have heard that some people say, well, you have to have a 5-year plan or a 10-year vision for the company of where it wants to go. That's all great. But world-class companies who have that really operate on a 3-year vision. Now, there's a reason for this. So there's an individual called Jim Carrey. We probably all know him. He's one of Hollywood's most famous actors. He tells a story in one of the greatest commencement speeches that I've seen. There are a lot of great ones, but I love Jim's. And he talks about this time in his life when he was essentially almost a nobody. He grabbed a check, a blank check, and he wrote it to himself, and he dated it 3 years in advance of that date. The check he wrote was for $10 million. And he said, I'm going to be the highest paid actor in Hollywood, and I'm going to have a contract for $10 million. So for 3 years, he drove up and down Mulholland Drive and through Hollywood, picking up gigs, never forgot and never stopped repeating that he was going to be the highest paid actor in Hollywood. So interestingly enough, 3 years later, he gets a call for a contract that, yes, was for $10 million. And yes, it made him the highest paid actor in Hollywood's history at the time. The contract was for Dumb and Dumber. So I always get a kick out of that because that's really not my favorite movie. It's a great movie, but that put him on the top of the top. So why are 3 years important? Well, brain science says that our minds actually remember threes better than anything else. This is why we've got phone numbers that are 3, 3, and 4. So I can do a whole series on brain science, but I won't bore you with that right now. But a 3-year outcome is in the realm of something that's very important: believability. If it's outside of that realm, you're not going to believe it. Neither is your team or your company. It's going to seem like too hard out there. There's too many factors that can happen within 4 or 5 years that are external, that are outside the control. Our mind just doesn't grasp that as well as it grasps 3 years. So you're going to operate on a 3-year plan, and you're going to say the year is and I am. Now, it sounds a little funky, but trust me, this is the secret. When you say this over and over again, the year is and I am, and you put your personal first and your business second, it's getting past the reticular activating system, which is a little pea-sized thing in your head that protects you from the unknown or from harm. And so when you're programming it with an idea that it thinks it might not be able to achieve, a little technique is to say the year is and I am. You're making a declarative statement about something that has already occurred. Your brain is then going to work to solve that. The last thing I'm going to say about that is your brain only solves the problems you give it. Now, as one business owner to another, I guarantee you I've given my brain way too many small problems to solve. Answering the email, doing this, doing that. Tactical things come in and hit. How are we going to meet the next quarter's objectives? Those are smaller projects, smaller problems rather. How am I going to speak? That's another problem. But what we're really talking about is giving it that 3-year outcomes, that 3-year vision. When you know it and your team knows it, your brain and the brain of everybody that's on your team is going to start to solve for that. Amazing things will happen. Even picking up conversations that are in a bar or wherever you hang out are going to happen that relate to that outcome statement because it's so permeating your brain, your subconscious will work on it. Again, I can give an hour seminar on this. As a matter of fact, I do have workshops on it, but I'm going to stop here. I want you to enjoy writing your outcome statement. Think big, think bold, think specific, because that's the crux of it. And then Catapult is going to really help you take that down into measurable KPIs and action items so that you can start executing it. You're going to enjoy this vision. You're going to enjoy the dream because it's the one you're creating. And that's how world-class companies operate.